Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Troy Vossler, co-founder of gener8tor, here to kick off the next iteration of the gener8tor Founder Series Spotlight. Today, I am honored to be joined by John Schmitt, the founder and CEO of iXpressGenes. Welcome, John.
Hey, hey, Troy, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's kick things up. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your company. What is iXpressGenes?
Yeah, sure. So I'm John Schmidt. I'm the CEO and co-founder of iXpressGenes, 20-year Army veteran. And I met with my co-founder Joe Ing, professor at University of Alabama, Huntsville, that actually developed our technology out of a mass shooting. Unfortunately, he was a survivor.
Wow.
And out of that horrible tragedy, he saw the spectrum of resilience occur among his peers and just knew there had to be an immunological response to trauma. And fast forward, we now have a highly effective, highly precise blood test that looks at the inflammation that's underlying cause behind trauma-related disease, including PTSD. So we believe we can, with suicide rates climbing and mental health illness, reaching crisis levels, there's an opportunity for prevention, and we're that objective measure to help get in front of it.
Wow, what a fascinating story and just kind of the context that it was born out of and everything else. So
Yeah,
kudos
absolutely.
for creating something good out of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
Tell us about your current status, whether that's
Yeah,
traction, revenue, customers, product development, fundraising, however you want to define that or whatever you're comfortable sharing. Give us
yeah.
your status.
W- We're getting tired of winning, Troy. It's been a great couple months. So we just recently oversubscribed. Was raising a $2.4 million equity round, and we just oversubscribed last week,
Nice.
I guess.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It takes a lot of pressure off. It's the difference between running for office and governing. We're just excited to get to work. And we've got some really, really exciting traction. So I just testified before Congress last month. We have a bill, promoting our technology to be deployed as a pilot within the Veterans Administration. We just signed our second contract with the VA Birmingham, for a much larger study showing the effectivity of some therapy options. And we actually we've onboarded now six customers. And we just went live about a month and a half ago. So the beauty is the customers are inbound. We're really not even having to go out, reach out too far. And I think people that are working in trauma and in the mental health arena, they're not shocked that there is a physiological response to trauma. And they've been looking for a tool like this to help objectively treat and prevent, these kinds of diseases for years. And I think it's welcome, and it's proof by just how much inbound customer traction we're getting.
Very
It's
cool. Well,
exciting times.
congrats on all that traction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's the company located?
So we're in Huntsville, Alabama. We're at the Hudson Alpha Institute for Biotechnology.
Nice. And why Huntsville or why Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, because of our origin story, our founder Joe was a professor at University of Alabama, Huntsville, still is. And so, obviously naturally here, as far as a location where, there's such a great spirit of small business entrepreneurship, just collaboration. And I came out of defense work, weapon systems development and acquisition, and I think the community here in North Alabama, understands the challenges between research and development and production and fielding and commercialization, and there's a lot of support here for that transition through that valley of death. You know,
Yeah, I get it. I get it, and I like it. Um, and when did you go through? You went through our gBETA program. When was
I
that?
did. Yes, I guess that was last summer.
Cool.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's great experience.
And I guess tell us more about your generator experience and your time in the accelerator.
Yeah, so I was pretty hesitant, honestly. I thought I had it together and had a pretty clear path and whatnot, and we I was encouraged to do gBETA, and got in, and it was a phenomenal experience. I mean, I think it made me realize I needed to step down and take a little humility in my approach to building the business. And I think one of the most important things that it did is just get the reps in. I mean, I think we've probably pitched a couple hundred times now, and probably the first hundred were terrible. And it really helped us tell get our story concise, get our metrics and our just what's important to investors at the time, because obviously to investors uh it's not just a personal thing. It's also in a time in our economy, and obviously with trends and whatnot. It was really important for me to kind of just listen much more closely and get that story much more concise.
Nice. You mentioned kind of the repetition or, lots of different pitches. How would you
Yeah.
say the accelerator helped you the most? Was it through that?
Yeah, I mean, I think access to really mature investors and serial entrepreneurs, and folks that could give candid, sound advice. Not all of it great, but that's kind of part of it, because we're in front of different personalities that some fit, some don't. And I think just having that large volume of variety was so helpful. All across, from the mentors to investors to just folks that are just, small business supporters. I mean, it was just having that range of exposure was huge.
And would you say that did within gBETA, did you have a favorite part of the program or a favorite connection that you made? Maybe it was one of those mentors or investors.
Well, actually, actually, one of my favorite mentors ended up becoming our in-house counsel.
Nice. All
So,
right.
so I think he was brutal when we first met, and he was and then he gave me some really sage advice, and I came back to him with like, hey, what do you think about this? And we built quite a relationship, and I call him a friend today, and he's been a huge part of this company's launch. So
That's a really
that
cool
was
story.
yeah,
I love,
absolutely.
I love to hear it. Do you prohibit your general counsel from participating in other mentors forums, or maybe they'd go and join a different startup now?
Absolutely not. No, no way. No, we're here for the community,
Nice.
and I, as much as I can still get out there and mentor as well, I do it as well, because my last role was in advanced manufacturing, so I've been kind of pulled into a
Perfect.
couple of mentors forums to support from that aspect.
I
So
appreciate it.
it's gonna take all of us to get this thing done.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you doing that. John, you mentioned you had some hesitation before doing the accelerator. What
Yeah.
advice do you have for entrepreneurs and founders that are considering an accelerator?
Um, Yeah, I mean, recognize it's gonna be hard. It's hard work, right? It's not straightforward. But I mean, the chances are that if unless you are incredibly disciplined and incredibly focused already, like there's just so many distracting things in your day to day, right? Trying to piece together a business. And I think that the advice I give is just jump in and do it, because it forces you to focus on the really important things, and you know um, market discovery, and getting your KPIs down, and really thinking through what's important in the short term. While looking at a much more strategic picture. Advice is just do it. Like it's that you can't replace access to a network like that, and the perspectives that it offers.
I like it. Just do it. That's the message. I agree. The last question I ask each entrepreneur here is if you had one ask for this audience, what would it be? Is it an introduction? Is it a specific person, a specific company, a customer, a distributor, a partner, an investor, advice? What would your one ask be?
For our company specifically.
Yeah,
I think it would be would I'd love an introduction within some decision makers, specifically policymakers in healthcare, and then the payers. It's a place that we're navigating, but obviously it's a big system. And I think the more advocates we have on our side, I'd love those kind of introductions.
I like it. Well, if anyone listening and watching has any introductions to decision makers at pairs, please make sure to put that in the comments and get in touch with John here. John, appreciate your time. Wishing you the
No,
best
thank
of
you.
luck with iXpressGenes. Make sure to check out their website in the description below and best of luck. Thank you, John.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.